Well. Do I have a nice little update for everybody in the crypto community, especially those of us who are out in the public as far as like me, Bitcoin Ben, some other crypto people who have had attempted and or successful hack attacks, so to speak, on their phone where they switch the SIM card to another phone and then they call in, the hackers call in and pretend to be you. Hey, I got a new phone. They switch the phone. They change your Gmail password. They're trying to log into all of your exchange accounts and steal all your crypto. And as you know, months ago, they tried to go after me. And I had notes on all my account stuff. Look, this can never be done over the phone. Only in person, with ID in hand. We changed the PIN code. They still got in with the PIN code. But it was stopped immediately because I recognized my phone got screwed up and I called and they stopped it. So they gave up on OJ Snip 4. Not that it mattered anyways, because even if they got my stuff, my phone fully, whatever, and they tried to log into my exchange accounts, they wouldn't have not had anything. They don't have my two-factor. Like, they would have never been able to do it. So Bitcoin Bed had an interesting thing happen to him where they tried the same thing, but I'm not going to go into detail of what his scenario was. But very, very similar with an additional twist that was kind of shocking when he told me about it, but it's not something I don't think he ever went public with. So I get a call this morning, literally moments ago, and I just talked to Bitcoin Ben to say, hey, dude, you need to call this detective. So he says, the reason why I'm calling you today, to me, I'm detective so-and-so out of California. We had a case where people were trying to do SIM swaps with people's cell phones and steal. I'm like, I know what this is. Steal all their cryptocurrency. He goes, yep. So I'm like, boy, I'm glad you called. This is cool. I was like, how can I help? So he said, the reason I got your phone number is because of during our investigation, we found the guy one of the guys we've arrested. We've traced it all back, all the SIM card transactions and everything and swaps. Your phone number was listed, when they took control of your phone that moment briefly or whatever. So I'm like, okay. So he's like, a lot of people won't even talk to us. They're like, well, how do I know, you're real? And that, they just like, nah, whatever. And I'm like, oh, I'm not one of those. I'll gladly talk to you and I'll gladly help you, because cryptocurrencies are for the people. They're supposed to help us get out of this freaking debt-based nightmare we're in, personally and whatnot. And this is going to be a good thing. And we can't have this thievery, this crap, mudding up the waters on something that's supposed to be good for humanity. So I'm totally, of course, willing to help. Not to mention, I was almost a victim, if they would have gotten my stuff, which they wouldn't have because I have two-factor. But anyways, so we're talking, and here's what I've gathered after talking to this guy, this detective. And just so anyone knows, I'll go ahead and give you his name because he says some people don't even believe us, I'm like, well, what I'm going to do, I said, I'm a YouTuber. I got like 81,000 subscribers. The crypto community, quite a few people probably know me, or at least know my name on YouTube. And if you tell them, oh, hey, we talked to the guy on YouTube, JSnip4, he's helping us. He was willing to talk with us. That might make a lot more people willing to talk and help. So here I am saying it now. This is official. His name is Rob Basuino, Basuino. This is a detective. Okay. He's with the React Task Force. Again, Detective Rob Basuino, Basuino. I'm not going to just give his cell phone number out over the air here on the video, but I think if you Google that, he told me we'd already made an arrest recently. You probably could find that about a week to 2 weeks ago on news or whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I asked him, do you have any rough figures of what these people have stolen thus far? He goes, yeah, about $38 million worth of cryptocurrency. He says, yeah, and it was they were pretty much just going after people with cryptos. That was their thing. So I said, I know I heard a case recently with a guy, someone suing AT&T because they did the same thing with him. He lost couple $1 million or something, whatever. But he says we definitely have some people in the U.S., specifically 2 in California, and some also overseas as well. So this is a international investigation. They're going to be nabbing these guys. I would say probably most, if not all of them. And it'll be interesting to see where this goes and if they can get some of that money back or whatever, from the stolen cryptos. So he basically said, and he said, I'm not, they're still doing their investigation, but it does appear that they did have someone on the inside, certainly with AT&T, more than one employee from what I understand, who was basically getting they'd pay him a fee. We'll give you a little fee if you can, get us information on this particular person or this whatever. And they'd go look up the person, whether they had their email address, full name, whatever they had, they'd send to the person. And he didn't go this specific with me, by the way. I'm telling you that now, that I think they simply told the person, here's a phone number, here's an email address, look it up in your system. If they exist in AT&T, we got a live one. We'll pay you a couple bucks to get us in there and switch the phone out. Or if they couldn't actually do the switch, give us the PIN code, which all employees can see the PIN code, apparently. So all they need is the PIN code. Call in, pretend to be so-and-so. Here's my PIN code. Yeah, I need to change my phone. That kind of a thing. So I personally feel it wasn't just AT&T. It's going to be all the carriers. And Verizon was one of them. And I told him why I thought it would be. Verizon was one as well. Since they tried to do something similar with Bitcoin Ben, I said, I know a guy that you might want to talk to as well. And I'll call him first to let him know it's legit. And I'll give him your phone number if you want. He goes, absolutely, have him call me. So I just hung up with him, called Bitcoin Ben. Bitcoin Ben, call this guy, detective. They're going after him. So this is an update. They've already made some arrests. There's more coming. And they thought they could get away with this. Criminals. Not happening. Not happening. So I hope most of that money is still available and people can get it back. They end up getting it back. That would be great. So we will see what happens. Just wanted to give you this update because I saw this, area code 408. Like, I wonder who's calling me. Answer the phone. Hey, I'm Detective Rob. How you pronounce that? Basuino. Once he started telling me, I'm thinking, what's this about? Wonder why detective's calling me. And sure enough, that was it. So I'm like, hey, keep up the good work. Hope you get you guys keep going and get the rest of these. He's like, yeah, I appreciate it. So anyways, if you know anyone that had a call from the detective, tell him, well, Jason at 40 talked to the guy. Like, it's legit. For sure. He did ask for my driver's license number and I gave it to him. And I know I know it's legit. So that's why I didn't have a problem giving him my driver's license number. But thankfully I wasn't a victim. Now, BitConnect on the other hand, not BitConnect, BitPetite. Sure, I lost $6,000 or more on that one, a little more, 6,700, 6,500, something like that. You know that whole story. But they've nabbed what they think is the top BitConnect scammer of all, the guy, Indian. They got him. And I'll be honest, I feel that they did a lot of these other ones, possibly BitPetite and maybe some of the other ones. But then again, maybe not. Maybe it was another group. It's hard to say. But BitConnect was the biggest one, and they believe they've nabbed that guy now. So looks interesting. And I remember the Webbot report did say, they'd be, one of these guys would be, like street justice. I thought. Well, the one guy's name is Bodai something or another. He was behind Laser Online, and they found his ass. He had a Facebook account with a different name. People found him. And I haven't heard any updates in that one in a while. I haven't even looked, to be honest with you. But they know where he fled to and everything. So I was like, oh, maybe street justice is going to happen after all, just like the Webbot said. But it did say these scammers would be caught in these, and not all, but some of these scenarios. And here's another one. Not exactly a BitConnect kind of a thing, but still, someone being victimized and their stuff being stolen. So now all we need is the fake help desk support phone numbers. People call in. You think you're calling Gemini. You think you're calling Coinbase. You find a 1-800 number online. You call in. It's not them. It's an Indian speaking guy or a Pakistani. Oh, yes, let me log into your computer and help you. Do not fall for that crap. Anyways, little update. Take care.